welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I am Anna and I'm a little bit spooky, and today we're doing some product updates. These are just some things I wanted to fill you in on, update you on. Maybe I did a first impression, maybe I did a review and my opinion might have changed, or I just want to reaffirm that opinion. Yeah, and some of this is stuff that I've just been testing out behind the scenes and hadn't really had a chance to talk about in a video. You know, stuff I might have just been reviewing for a blog post or Instagram, something like that. But anyways, these are just some things I've been using lately and I want to give you updates on it because I have my firm opinions on said products. So I think we should start with skincare this time because I have a few skincare things I do want to talk about and kind of update you on. So first one would be this number 7 Advanced Retinol 1.5% Complex Night Concentrate. This has Matrixyl 3000 plus. I don't know what that means. I've been using this for quite a few months now, and I gotta say it's one of the nicest retinol products I've used. It's gentle and I feel like it's effective. It does what it's supposed to do, but it doesn't make my skin scaly. It doesn't feel like it's peeling. It doesn't feel gross. It's a very gentle type of retinol, in my opinion, on my skin. It's not been too overpowering. I've used some retinol based products that have made me peel and dry out and look like I had a sunburn kind of thing, where just the skin was just sloughing off. This one didn't do that to me. This one is just very, very gentle and still effective. A cream-based product, so it feels kind of hydrating going on. It doesn't leave your skin feeling dry. It feels like a moisturizer. But yeah, it's got great ingredients. Number 7 has a really broad skincare line that I've just never paid that much attention to. They had sent me this to try out, and I have been using it consistently since I got it every day. And I gotta say, I think it works pretty good. My skin is behaving well. You know, I think my skin's probably in a better condition than it's been. It probably looks better now than it did 10 years ago, to be honest with you, because I've been incorporating a lot more retinol products and good for you skincare products. But anyways, this is a good one that is from the drugstore. It's a little more accessible. I wouldn't say it's affordable. It's still a little pricey, I do believe. Anyways, you can get these on sale though. They run promotions at Walgreens all the time. And I think number 7 is a really good brand. So yeah, this is a good one, especially if you're looking for a retinol and are a little apprehensive because you're afraid it's gonna be rough on your skin. Maybe try this one. This one's fairly gentle. Next is 2 SPFs that I've been testing out and loving. First is the Dermalogica Dynamic Skin Recovery SPF 50 Broad Spectrum. I've been using this one really consistently. What's great about this one is that it's incredibly lightweight. It doesn't leave a cast on your skin. It's thin, but it still leaves your skin feeling moisturized. It really just feels like a moisturizer. It sits beautifully under makeup, and it's just a really good all-around sunscreen. There's no shiny cast to it or anything like that. I really liked for, especially on days when I'm feeling particularly oily, this is a good one because it doesn't make me feel even more oily. It's just a very lightweight, good, easy SPF, and it's an SPF 50. I mean, for an SPF 50 and it feels so dang lightweight on the skin, it's great. You get a nice kind of generous sized bottle, I think. I don't think the price point's too terribly bad either. So yeah, it doesn't make me itch. It doesn't bother my skin. So overall, I gotta say, this is a really great SPF. Another SPF that I've also really been loving is the Lighthearted Broadband SPF 30 from Sunday Riley. I'm just in love with Sunday Riley. This is a zinc oxide turmeric blue light defense SPF. Now this one's a little bit heavier than the Dermalogica, but is not the heaviest I've tried, but it does have that more thick moisturizing formula. It does have that little bit of a cast on the skin that does go away once it works into your skin, but it is very sheeny, very glowy, especially on days when I'm feeling dry. This is one I really like, but I think this one's really a beautiful product. And yeah, it does claim to have blue light defense with antioxidant rich turmeric. I love turmeric in my skincare, so yeah. It says it's a 99.99% oil free. I feel like it is very moisturizing. It does leave a very glowy sheen on the skin though, so if you don't like that, I would say go with the Dermalogica over that. And I think like Supergoop has a mattifying SPF that's really nice I've used. I'm just really liking this one because my skin's been a little bit on the drier side as the seasons change. I always get a little like dry experience. I don't know why that happens. You'd think I would get oily, but whatever. Anyways, I've just really been liking this one. I love a good heavy SPF. I like to feel moisturized and protected from the sun, but both of these have been just top shelf right here, reaching for them depending on my mood. Let's move on to some complexion products. First, I want to talk about the NYX Marshmallow Primer. I did review this. It'll be linked in the eye. But just as a quick update, I have bought a full size since reviewing it and have used up this baby one. I have about that much left in there and I am tearing through it. This is a fantastic little primer. It's a good everyday primer. It does smooth the skin. I feel like it tones down redness a little bit. It gives a little bit of a glow to the skin. It kind of does a little bit of everything and it feels really nice. It smells really, really nice. It has a nice marshmallow scent. And I think it's a good one. It's got some skincare benefits. It's supposed to improve skin over time. You know, I think it's a good little primer. It's quite pricey for drugstore, but I've been using it every day. Obviously, I like it, and there's something about it that has made me want to pick it up every single day. So yeah, still loving that. And I think that is definitely my final verdict, is that it's a good primer. Let's see, moving on over to the e.l.f. CC Camo CC Cream. Color correcting full coverage natural finish with collagen, peptides, and niacinamide, SPF 30. Okay, so this one I think is one of those you love it or you hate it type of products. It's kind of akin to the IT Cosmetics CC foundation that's a little bit, you don't expect it to be full coverage, but it is full coverage. This has a lot of coverage to it. Now, I think it can become a finicky product depending what primers you put with it, what powders you put over it. It can lift in patches sometimes, and I've seen that happen to other people. I've experienced it like once or twice, and I don't really know what caused it. But for the most part, I get this one to work for me pretty dang well. I'm really impressed with the coverage, and I think it wears fairly well, considering it is kind of a, I wouldn't say it's like super dewy, but it is pretty veering on the dewy side more than the matte side. It's a very natural verging on dewy finish, but I think it's a pretty product. It has so much coverage and you can apply it quite sheerly and get a nice kind of tinted moisturizer vibes. It's a little versatile in that respect, and I do think it builds on itself quite well. So yeah, I think it applies lovely with a brush, a sponge, either way you want to do it. I think I've preferred it with a brush actually, because I think it was the sponge that may have caused a little bit of lifting. But you know, I think it's a good little foundation, and it's not a bad price point. It's got the SPF 30 in it and some skincare, and I think it's truly just going to come down to your personal preference and if you enjoy the product itself. But as far as my opinion goes, I've used it on and off quite a bit since I've picked it up. I rotate it with a couple other foundations that I just really enjoy, so it stays in the rotation up here. So yeah, I just wanted to update you on this one. I did review it and wear test it. I will link that above in the eye. Hyaluronic Hydra Powder. I love this powder. My sister-in-law got me this for Christmas because we were just talking about it, and I was talking about how I never just pulled the trigger on it because it was kind of expensive and wasn't sure I was gonna like it. I love it. I love it. I'm gonna repurchase it. It's like, that's how much I love it. I have the colorless one, and this is one of the most undetectable powders on the skin. It locks in your foundation all day, doesn't budge, but doesn't look like anything on the skin. It just mattifies and locks it in, but you don't see it. You don't see any powderiness whatsoever. It is incredibly like lightweight, just seamless looking on the skin. It reminds me quite a bit of the NARS light reflecting powder, the pressed one. Like this is like almost like a loose version of this. I know they make a pressed version of this, so I'd be quite interested in it. But this has that kind of thin HD powder type of feel to it that's just so finely milled. I don't know what it's magic, and anytime I wear it is a good makeup day. It's a day that my foundation lasts me all day. This I would highly recommend, and I mean it's a pretty hefty price point, but I think it's a beautiful product. And yeah, it's supposed to hydrate your skin or trap moisture with the hyaluronic acid. I don't know if it really does that, but I think it's a lovely, lovely powder that makes your makeup budge proof without looking cakey at all. It is so just graceful on the skin. Moving on to the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I've probably been raving about this in every video, but just to reiterate, I love it. This is a great product. It is so graceful on the skin. It's a highlighter I would recommend for mature skin, young skin, all skin. It comes in quite a few shades. It gives a little tiny bit of coverage. You could wear it on its own, and it gives the most natural lit from within glow that is just beautiful. I've used it in multiple ways. I have the shade 2, by the way, 2 Fair. This is the mini, the travel size, and it's lasted me since about 5 months now, and it's still going strong. I do have the full size in my cart. I'm eventually going to order it in the lightest shade. Can use this under foundation for a nice lit from within glow. Peeps through, it even peeps through like powder and a set down face really well. You can do it over your foundation for a little bit more of a little more highlight without it being over the top. It's just very kind of like if your skin was going to have a highlight to it, this is the highlight it would have. Like, it's just very skin-like and very smooth on the skin. It doesn't highlight texture or anything. It's just very, very beautiful. Oh, and like today I applied it over a set powdered face because I forgot to put it on, and I was like, well, let's just see if it will go over. So I put a little bit on my cheeks and then pounced it out with my sponge, and it did beautifully. So I was really impressed with that as well. And I think this is just a really, really good product. And yeah, I'm loving it. Good stuff. Highly recommend the Hollywood Flawless Filter. I do want to try the Auric one and Jamie Genevieve's new one. So, but they got a lot to live up to with the Charlotte Tilbury because dang, she's good. Yeah, let's move on up to some bronzers that I've been into. 2 bronzers in particular, and that is the NARS Laguna bronzer. All these years, never used Laguna bronzer. And lately, I've just been into it. And I was somebody who did not think Laguna was going to be for me. I thought it'd be just too deep on me, but I think it's a beautiful, beautiful bronzer. And I know probably everybody under the sun's already used this bronzer, but I just want to go ahead and update you and say this is a great go-to classic bronzer. If you're still on the market for a good bronzer and want a nice high-end one, I would recommend the NARS one. The NARS Laguna. Go check it out. They have it in some various finishes now. I think they have a few shades of their bronzers, but I have Laguna, but I think the formula on this is so nice. And Laguna's a nice shade because I can get a little bit of sculpt from it without it looking too orange on my skin tone. It's a very nice shade. So I just had to update and say that I gotta admit, NARS Laguna's a good one. I've been testing it out and I didn't have high hopes going in. I thought, I don't know if this is gonna look good on me. It looks awfully dark. But no, it looks gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Good bronzer from NARS. I think we already all know that though. That'd be like me whipping out Hoola and reviewing it. Still have never tried Hoola either, and I won't. I just refuse at this point. And another thing that came with NARS, this is from the birthday gift from Sephora this year. And another little thing that came with it was the lip balm, which I want to talk about real quick since I was talking about that. The lip balm in Laguna is quite nice from NARS. Now, I would not in a million years spend NARS prices for a damn lip balm. A great dupe for this is from Milani. I will put a picture of it on the screen because I think it's in my purse right now. It keeps growing legs and walking away in this particular shade because it is almost an exact dupe of this little Laguna lip balm. However, this is a nice little lip balm. I throw it on before I'm doing makeup or something. You know, be a good little purse lip balm. Has a little bit of color to it, little flush of warm brown. I think it's pretty on a good many skin tones. And it's quite sheer. But yeah, for NARS prices, we're not gonna buy a lip balm. But it was a free gift, so I just want to do it's okay. But don't waste your money. Just get one from Milani. Back to bronzers. The other bronzer I wanted to mention was the Maybelline City bronzer in the shade 200, I believe. This is the lightest shade, and this is a beautiful, beautiful bronzer for the undead girl like myself. Are you a ghost? Are you yourself strange and unusual? Are you a member of the undead? This would be the bronzer for you. If you were the shade of uncooked chicken, this would be the bronzer for you because it is just so dang light and gives the most beautiful warmth to the skin without looking orangey, without looking like too much. However, I would still recommend using it with a light hand because it a lot kicks up and gets on your brush, and I kind of can go overboard with this one, so bear that in mind. It is quite pigmented for being as light as it is, but therefore I think at the same time I think that can make it a little more versatile. But it is just a very, very light kind of yellowy bronzer, and I think it looks really nice on my skin tone at least. And yeah, I have to recommend this is a beautiful formula. It's smooth, so smooth. It is matte and it just blends into the skin seamlessly. this is a really good product from Maybelline, so good job on that. Recently just kind of been into bronzers, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I've been using this one just about every day since I picked it up and have loved it. I'll use it with like my Fenty Cream contour and then use this to bring warmth to the skin without my skin looking too bronzed. It flows so naturally with my skin tone. So I would highly recommend this if you are a pale ghost like myself, a vampire, and you want to look sun-kissed. Here you are. I think last for complexion, skin products, face products would be the Jaclyn Hill highlighter. This is the accent highlighter in Sparks. Another really nice product, and the shade Sparks is gorgeous for pale skin. I think the formula is stunning. It is one of the smoothest highlighters I have ever used and doesn't emphasize texture. There's no glitter in it. It's just a beautiful, sheeny, wet looking highlighter, and you can build it up and get a ton of glow from it and get kind of metallic, or you can apply it sheerly and just get a nice glow. It is very, very pretty, and I think the shade's kind of unique. It has kind of it's definitely more of a yellow gold with a more white base. So again, it is very, very, very pale girl friendly. Finding a golden highlight for my skin tone has always been a challenge. And I can get like champagne ones. I've been on the market for one that would actually pull kind of golden, but still work on my skin tone. And I have it on today. And you can see I still have that nice kind of warm gold shift on my cheeks without it looking too icy or too dark. It doesn't create a shadow on my face like a lot of golden highlighters tend to do on me. So that makes me really happy. However, it is quite a more of a greeny gold, yellow gold. With this one, I think might be somewhat similar to that ABH Ice highlighter. In the shade, I would say its closest comparable shade that I have personally is in the Sugar Glow kit, which I'll pop on the screen which one I'm talking about. But there's something about this one that's just a prettier formula than that too. And I think these are really nice. The packaging is nice. I think Jaclyn did a great job with these highlighters. So no matter how you feel about Jaclyn herself, this product is good and I'm happy with it. And I do want to try out her loose powders that are like the Lancome ones. Now moving on to the eyes, I want to update you about these Huda Haze palettes. I did a first impression on these a little while back. I gotta say, the Khaki Haze I am still absolutely in love with. And the Sand Haze is really nice as well. It's definitely one that I just reach for on the day-to-day kind of basis because it's just kind of quick, easy shades. They're soft, nothing too punchy, and I like a good peachy kind of look. So yeah, this is just a really good everyday type of palette for me. The shades, the shimmers in it are pretty unique. Like they can pull like purple and more of a cool rose goldy almost undertone, and you got this really nice kind of pinky shade up here, this deepened pink. And I think it's really pretty, and you got a gold in it. The shimmers are a little bit firmly pressed. They're a little finicky. Like they perform best on a finger or a sponge tip applicator, but just kind of par for the course with Huda. However, with her Naughty Nude palette, I found the shimmer is much easier to work with than with the Haze palettes. But the mattes in here are gorgeous. And yeah, I'm liking the Sand Haze just for a quick everyday. Don't want to think about it, but I want a little something going on the eyes, that kind of thing. And if I'm feeling a little bit more glam, but not wanting to put that much effort in, I would go with the Khaki Haze. This is just a color story I love. I love these warm browns up here. I love this really purple brown shade right here. And then you got this true kind of khaki, almost olivey green shade. You got this really fun duochrome down here that shifts purple, a nice kind of pinky shade, and a couple of unique goldy shades in here too with interesting shifts. Again, they are very firmly pressed, not the easiest to use shimmers I've found. Like they could have been creamier. And they do have a little bit of chunky glitter in some of them and various textures, but overall, I'm still really enjoying these and stand by my first impressions of them being really good and worth checking out if you're looking for, especially if you're looking for a palette that has a green vibe to it, but you find green a little bit intimidating. The Khaki Haze would be a good place to start because it's not overwhelmingly green, because it's more of that khaki green, not so obvious. It's a very subtle green and it's easy to work with. And you got those nice warm browns to really balance it out. And again, if you just really like soft looks, the Sand Haze is lovely. They're just lovely little palettes, but yeah, fingertip would definitely be your best friend with those shimmers or a sponge tip applicator. I buy little packs of sponge tip applicators from Walmart for 99 cents. And they get the job done just fine. The only reason I don't use my fingers is because I got really long nails and I tend to stab my eyeshadows if I do that, and I can't really get into the inner corner. So there's that. On the eyes, I want to talk about the Rebel Rouge Labs palettes. I have Suspended in Dusk and Prelude to Agony. Both of these are really, really fun palettes. The quality is there. It's beautiful quality. This is an indie brand, by the way, and I will link them below and my first impressions on these palettes. I did test both of them out and do a look combining them, and then today I used some shades from this one to create today's look. But these are really fun color stories. Give me to branch out and be a little more creative with my makeup. You have Suspended in Dusk, which is, you know, all these beautiful classic type of negative type of shades with the green and the black #1 and the bloody reds. And then you have Prelude to Agony, which is a little bit more romantic in color story. It's got some more pinks in there. I cannot wait to do a look with this blue up here that is coming soon, don't you worry. And I absolutely love this shade over here as well, and this really nice taupe down here. Then you also have this really, really interesting bright greeny gold and almost a fluorescent gold, and this hot pink. And I love this center shade as well. It's a pretty palette. It's fun. This was more their Valentine's Day release, I believe, and I like how the attention to detail that they put into these. The quality is fantastic as far as just the palette itself goes, and the formula of the eyeshadows. The colors are gorgeous. They're true to color on the eye. The artwork, the palette design, and just the details, you can tell they were true type of negative fans and really did a great job honoring the band's spirit and Peter Steele's spirit with these palettes. Especially to me, Suspended in Dusk, that just nails type of negative person perfectly. And it looks a hell of a lot better than what Urban Decay tried to do to Prince. I don't want to talk about that debacle. Girl. Okay. Getting towards the end here, I have a couple of brow products that I want to update you on. First is the NYX The Brow Glue. This is awful. Don't waste your time. I bought it when it first launched. When I just saw it in store and I got real excited because I thought, ooh, it's going to be like the Benefit Brow Setter. No, it is like glue. It is like shitty, sticky hair gel glue. It doesn't dry down. It's really gloopy and gross, and your brows just fall right down. They don't stay in place with this. This does not, it doesn't have much hold. They just kind of fall right back to where they were, and you're constantly having to like get them to stick back up, and they just get really gloopy. It messes your makeup up if you do it after. If you do it after your foundation and after your, you know, your whole makeup's done and you're using this as a finishing touch, it kind of makes a mess. It messes up your foundation and stuff around your brows, and it can also break down your brow product and just not play well. And if you do it before you do your makeup, it has such a gross sticky texture that everything sticks to it. It is literally like having like syrup. That's what it's like. It's like having syrup in your brows, and it is awful. So don't bother. Just do not bother with the NYX The Brow Glue, because it's just gross. It's horrible. Horrible product. Do not like at all. However, NYX did come out with an amazing brow product in the Lift and Snatch pens. These are fucking fantastic. They have such a fine little tip on them. The pigmentation is just right. It's not too pigmented. There's a softness to it. It really truly mimics brow hair color, and the ease of drawing them on, it just really, you can create the perfect little brow hairs with these. And yeah, I enjoy them immensely. Like I even have the black shade, because sometimes when I tint my brows, I tint them more of a deeper shade than what they are to match my hair, and I'll use the black one, and because it's soft, it has such soft pigmentation to it, it doesn't look like I took a black eyeliner and went through my brow hairs. It looks like actual brow hairs and matches them perfectly. And like today when my brows are less tinted, I go in with the ash brown actually, because I like the tone of it, and it gives me the perfect little soft wispy brow hairs. So good. They're very easy to use. They're super, super fine tip, and you can just get in there, little strokes, and make your brows look so full and so real, and it keeps them from getting too blocky. I like to use them to fill in my front parts of my brows and bring them a little bit in, a little more fullness right there, and just gives you that beautiful bushy brow, laminated brow, micro brow, whatever type of brow you're after look. These are a nice price point. They have lasted me quite a while. I haven't had to replace them yet. I've had them for about 2 months, and they're still going strong. And yeah, I would highly recommend these. I think they're great. And also, if you make a mistake, it's really easy to clean up. You just take a Q-tip and you just kind of scratch it away with no problem. But these are not waterproof. by any means. They will run pretty quick. So that's the only downside to it, is that they are not waterproof or super duper long wearing, but for the most part they perform really well, and I have enjoyed them quite a bit since I got them. So there's that. All right, last product is a root spray. This is the Tresemme Root Touch Up in dark brown temporary hair color. It's good for covering grays or roots or whatever that, you know, a little bit of growth you may have right here, or just making your hair look a little thicker. Overall, these are great for that. I think in almost every one of my empties videos, I've had the L'Oreal Magic Root Touch Up in it, because I love these so much for just filling in right here or where my hair is parted that can look a little thin, or my roots are showing too much or something like that, you know, or maybe my purple shampoo stained my scalp. This is just great little camouflage for that. And you can, of course, it just makes your hair look so thick. It makes it look so thick. But anyways, these are kind of pricey. These are like 10 bucks and they're really small. You don't get that much product. I was going through one a month, and within this you get like, I think, an ounce, 2 ounces of product. The Tresemme is, I believe, $1 cheaper, maybe $2 cheaper, and you get 2.5 ounces in it. I think it performs just as well as the L'Oreal one. It's just a little bit better price point, cost per ounce type of thing. So yeah, I would highly recommend the Tresemme one, and you can get it on sale, of course, at your local drugstore or wherever. Price will vary. I'll link it below on Amazon, see how much it is there. But yeah, it does exactly the same thing. It's just a kind of like an extremely pigmented dry shampoo type of thing. You just spray it on and you kind of work it in and kind of blend it with your fingertips. It dries down and lasts really well. You might get a little bit on your pillow. If your pillow is white or something, you might see a little bit of staining, a little bit of the color on it where it's rubbed off. But for the most part, I haven't noticed it like running or anything like that when it rains. Or like sweat. I haven't been dripping or anything, you know. I don't see it dripping down my face. I don't look like Rudy Giuliani at that press conference. That poor man. And it's very long wearing. I think it does give your hair a little bit of volume as well, because it has that powdery type of texture. It gives your hair a little bit of grip to it. So I put it mainly where I part my hair, and then kind of right at the roots, anywhere that I just think needs to look thicker, especially if I'm doing like a half up, half down kind of do. I have a lot of I have very thin hair, and so you can see my scalp a lot through my hair, and it drives me crazy. So having a product like this where I can just kind of fill in all that and kind of disguise it is fantastic, and it does make my hair look so much more full. It is a great little trick, and yeah, especially if you just don't want to touch up your grays, it's great. Or your roots. But yeah, the Tresemme one is fantastic, just as good as the L'Oreal, and at a little bit better price per ounce value. Alright, I think that is everything I want to update you on today. I know we kind of went through a lot of products, and most things were good things, except for that NYX brow glue. That stuff's just awful. It's terrible. I hate it. I hate it so much. And I've tried to make that brow glue work for me multiple times, and it looks good for like 2 seconds if you don't mess up your foundation with it, and then you turn around, look, your brows are back down where they were. There's no point in that product. There's no point. Disappointing. Otherwise, let me know down below if there's anything here that interests you that you would like to see a more in-depth video on. And I think most of these products, I think some of these products I do have in-depth reviews on in first impressions, so all that will be linked above and below. All the products will be linked below. If it's an Amazon link, it is an affiliate link. If it is just a regular link, it's just a regular link. That's all for today. Thank you for hanging out with me and going through some products I've been using and updating you and letting you know how I feel about them still. And yeah, look for these videos coming up every few weeks or so as I try out new products, because not everything gets a devoted video, or don't get around to it, or sometimes it's just a blog post or an Instagram post, you name it. So I've already got a list of product updates started, things I'll be updating you on next time. Right now it's only 4 products, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe and stay spooky. Bye now.